How's it going, guys? Dynamite here, coming to you as always from the Digital Warfare 24/7 forums, and let me apologize right off the bat for my voice, which is obviously a little congested still. Most of you guys who play with me regularly and have played with me during this past week when I've been so sick know that I was really sick with the flu. I was really congested, and for that reason I've been putting off posting this gameplay for about a week now. But it's gotten to the point where I really want some content for my channel. I really don't want to wait any longer, so I'm going to try to persevere and push through with my voice being in the state that it is. Some of you guys might have heard Xbox Ahoy's latest commentary that he posted while he was sick, and if someone who is known so much for their sexy voice can push through and record a commentary while they're sick and congested and not sounding like themselves, then I'm sure that I can give it a try as well. So basically what I want to be doing today is using this gameplay of Cargo Domination to showcase my particular feelings with regards to the Type 25. Now, the Type 25 is a member of a subset of assault rifles that appears in pretty much all Call of Duty games, and that is the lone assault rifle that usually has more SMG-like characteristics, those being a higher rate of fire and a lower damage. And in past games, these weapons have been the F-2000 in Modern Warfare 2, you had the AUG and the FMOS in Black Ops, and then most recently you had the FAD in Modern Warfare 3. And the FAD, I think, is the weapon that compares most similarly to the Type 25 in this game. Both of those weapons have a 4-hit kill up close, not a very long 4-hit kill range, and it then drops off to a 5-hit kill range at a little bit further out. Now, both these weapons also have a slow reload time, which is very unfortunate given that they consume ammo very quickly. They also have kind of peculiar but still very usable iron sights that are really not too bad, especially with the low to moderate recoil that both these weapons also feature. Now, moving on from there, it's interesting to note that the FAD was not considered an especially good weapon in Modern Warfare 3. In fact, it had to be patched later on, if you guys remember, to have a higher minimum damage so that it would kill in 4 bullets at any range. But this, I think, is more because the FAD had to go up against some real powerhouse weapons in Modern Warfare 3, and the assault rifles just aren't as powerful in Black Ops 2. So because of that, I think the relative strength of the Type 25 is actually pretty decent and is pretty worth using. So let's go over a little bit, where exactly does the Type 25 perform well? Where are you going to be able to employ this weapon effectively and get a lot of kills with it? Now, it's interesting to note that even though it has a very high rate of fire, the Type 25 does not have an especially advantageous time to kill at close range. Because it only kills in 4 bullets, any assault rifle that can kill in 3 bullets at very close range, or even SMGs that can kill in 3 bullets at close range, like the MSMC, the PDW, those are going to be able to kill faster even because they have that 3-hit kill potential if you crunch out the numbers and look at the actual time to kill. So what this means is that you're going to have to play a little bit more cautiously at extreme close range with the Type. Make sure that you have your tactics down like strafing, jump shotting, drop shotting, pre-firing, hip firing. You do not want to go ADSing head-to-head in a very close range engagement with this gun. Now, that being said, after the 3-hit kill range drops off for the SMGs and for the assault rifles, the Type 25 is still going to be firing at that crazy high RPM. It's going to be killing in 4 or 5 shots, and for that reason, it is actually going to have a very favorable close to medium range time to kill. And that range where the Type 25 is really effective is only really going to drop off once you get to a point where the Type 25's recoil starts becoming more of an issue. So right between those two endpoints is where you find that the Type 25 is really going to take down enemies very quickly. It's going to compete very well. Now, you can opt to make this more of a long-range weapon by attaching the grip and some sort of optic like the hybrid optic or something like that. I would advise you very strongly not to, because there are weapons in this game right now. A lot of people have been using them more and more as of late. They are going to be the target finder LMGs, the auto FAL, sniper rifles. People have been playing this game very defensively from a longer range, and the Type 25 is just not going to be able to compete there. A quick little side note on the gameplay, you'll notice that we actually lost this first round. This is a pretty interesting gameplay because I'm playing with two other members from the forums, Dunpizzle and Fully Avenged, and we end up going down in this round, but we're going to fight it back in the next round, and it's really going to be pretty fantastic. So moving back to the Type 25, what attachments should you use? And my personal preference is to focus on maximizing its strengths. And so what I really like to do is basically embrace the SMG side of the Type 25. And that's the class that I'm running in this particular game. You'll see that I have the adjustable stock and quick draw and fast mags. Now fast mags is probably the single most crucial attachment for the Type 25. And that is because it goes through ammo ridiculously quickly. You will constantly be needing to refill that ammo counter. So do not doubt that fast mags is going to be able to allow you to reload quickly in those intense situations where you have a lot of enemies around you, and really give you more of an advantage as you work your way across the map. Now, like I said, I really like to maximize the feel that this is a SMG. So you want to put quick draw on there, stock on there, and then I like to run it with lightweight and dexterity, and you get pretty much exactly the feeling like you're using an SMG, except that it has about double the range of an SMG. So think of it as if you had a PDW, except you could, well actually an MP7 is a better comparison because the PDW has a 3-hit kill range and the Type 25 does not. But think of it as an MP7 that can basically shoot twice its range. It has maybe slightly more recoil, but it's still very controllable when you get the hang of it. And you really have a close to medium range powerhouse that can compete with SMGs. It can definitely take down any assault rifles with that really high rate of fire. But once you get to the point where the type's recoil is getting in the way, once you get to the point where you know, you're going up against some of those assault rifles that have really long 3 and 4 hit kill ranges, that's where you don't want to be engaging. So keep your engagement distances to close to medium range, like I was saying earlier. Now you'll notice here that I'm running mid-level kill streaks, and that is because the Type 25 is going to run out of ammo pretty quickly. And so if you want to stay alive long enough to gain those higher level kill streaks, you're probably going to want to go with a slightly different loadout. I would really favor scavenger and then a suppressor. Those two things are going to keep you alive and supplied with ammo a lot longer. But you can see in this gameplay I'm running Hellstorm Lightning Strike Sentry Gun. Usually with this particular build I would run the counter UAV in that slot alongside the Hellstorm and the Lightning Strike, and that is because you can see I'm not using Ghost with this setup. So what that means is that I'm going to be visible on radar, especially since I don't have a suppressor, but I'll be using the counter UAV and then lightweight to quickly change my position. And a lot of the times lightweight can be just as useful as Ghost. I think it's definitely a very underutilized perk. Basically, even if you're on the minimap, if you're unpredictable in your movement, you'll lure your enemies in, but they won't be able to find you. So what I really like to do is run hardline with perk 1 greed so I can call in those counters a lot, and use that along with the confusion of high mobility with lightweight to really sort of like basically confuse and misdirect my my opponents. Now, another really good option is if you want to use something instead of fast mags, if you want to only use a couple attachments, you can use fast hands along with, say, something like the B23R, something that's going to pack just an absolutely ridiculous punch at close range, and you can switch to that really quickly instead of reloading your type. That's a valid option too. But basically, guys, those are my thoughts on the Type 25. You can see we're winding down to the end of the gameplay here, and unfortunately theater mode didn't capture all of this, and my capture card started lagging as I was trying to capture this game. So I only have a couple clips from the end here, but at this point basically I think I'm 54-8, and these sort of ragged clips that I'm piecing together at the end show how I end up getting to a pretty darn decent score of 69-8. And I owe a lot of that to the really good team gameplay of Fully Avenged and Dunpizzle, who are helping me come back on these kids and put up the win. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're looking for an alternative to weapons like the PDW, the SMGs, give the Type 25 a try, and you might be really surprised at how well you do with it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for excusing my congested voice, and stay tuned till next time.